I'm going to take your outstanding supervisor on the road with me because I go all over the district, but there is no place that I get such a warm, really eloquent, dynamic reception, and I'd use up all my minutes if I thanked everyone who is here again. But I really do want to thank you. Our supervisor's right on it. He's right on every issue. And for me to be here at the firehouse and have an opportunity to interact, and I hope we can chat a little bit informally later, really means a great deal to me. I just want to say that when Speaker Ryan asked me to join him as the ranking member of appropriations, now what that means is you're the top dem on appropriations, but I'd rather be chair. But he did bring the chair, my good friend Rodney Frelinghuysen, and we really do work as a team because you hear a lot about the division and a lot of tweets that go back and forth. I think we need some sleeping pills for somebody there so they don't get up at 3 in the morning and tweet. But what you don't hear about behind the scenes is there is some bipartisan effort. So Rodney Frelinghuysen, who's right here in New Jersey, not too far away, and I went with the speaker. And what was most important to me after we flew to Puerto Rico, and I've been to Puerto Rico several times, on better days, as we say, with kids and family members, but what you don't see is what my good colleague, Nydia Velazquez, who has 2 sisters there and family there and a house there, and she's been so wrought in describing what's happening. Not until you fly over, and we were in a low-flying helicopter, do you really understand what's happening? Because the areas along the beaches, the tall buildings, although they were without electricity for a while, they're getting electricity back. And there are generators when the hotels didn't get electricity. So you see that the beautiful waters, you'll see that will be rebuilt. But when you're flying over the whole country and you see the mountain areas and you see the valleys and you see the roads that were roads completely washed out, and you hear that the generators, which weren't too effective before, really have to, not just in my judgment, be rebuilt, they have to be replaced because these are our citizens of the United States of America who are living in it. We have to treat the people of Puerto Rico as we would treat our neighbors here. They are citizens of the United States of America. And so when you understand that, yes, the U.S. comfort is there and there's Defense Department there, they have got to get to these people. Now, the number, as we understand it, is 49 people that have lost their lives. Some were telling me, when I was talking to some local people, it may be as high as 500. But they don't know because they can't get to those areas. The generator, as I mentioned before, is not adequate for the needs in Puerto Rico. It's just not good enough. So I am going to go back to Washington. What's tomorrow? Monday. Monday, I'm going back to Washington on Monday and work with my colleagues, keeping in touch with those who are really doing an amazing job down there, whether it's the Defense Department or FEMA, Federal Emergency Management Agency. They're really all working together. But we have got to continue to stay on top of this so we get what the people need.
Yes.
Now, before we left, we passed what we call supplemental. In other words, because of what happened in Florida and Texas and other parts of the country, the wildfires, oh, you look at that and you see the number of lives lost there. So this is not business as usual. So we have to stay on top of the water that's being delivered. Who doesn't have water? Over 1,000 people still in the shelters. When are they getting out of the shelters? What's in the food packages that they're dropping? Is it adequate for the people, as I mentioned, who are living in the valleys where they can't get out? Now, when everything was fine, remember they chose to live there, and they get their car or however and get to the food supplies and the sources of their needs, but they can't get out now. So we're on top of this. I was pleased to be asked by the speaker to get there, and we're going to need another supplemental, because whether it's Puerto Rico or the wildfires or people in Texas or Florida, I mean, whoever said there isn't climate change, I'm not an expert, but something's happening out there. But all I know as human beings and as a member of the Congress, we have an absolute responsibility to respond. So I'm happy to take any questions. If you really want to know all the numbers, I can read every number to you. If you'd like to, the press, here's some more numbers. Maybe I'll read some of them, let you know. 64 of 67 hospitals are open, 41 are on the power grid, 23 on generators. 15% of customers have electricity. Wow. 15%. 63% of customers have drinking water. I mean, that's unheard of. And boiling orders still remain in effect. 29 of 51 wastewater treatment plants are operational, working on generator power. 74% of the population has cellular services available, and they're still upgrading all of the emergency cellular services. 79% of gas stations are open, but for a long time they didn't have anything there, the gas stations. DOD is responding with approximately 13,700 personnel, 13,700 personnel. And I have to tell you, I was really proud of the men and women serving our country. One gentleman who was there, and he's had quite a career, and now he's with FEMA, said he hasn't slept with 2 nights. They are so committed and so devoted when you see what's going on there, and they're working around the clock. They have